Hello friends of software entertainment. Today I want to show you how I develop new Sulu projects with my DDEV setup here on my local machine. So first I want to show you my local files or my local structure. So I have here on CD development everything what I develop, and there is also a folder called Kunden, what is client. So I go here to Kunden and we will see that here are a few of my clients. So there is a new client what is HI-plan. Oh, I have to change to English. Okay, and now here will be two folders for me. One is the actual layout what I have to implement. So I will copy this from my downloads directory to here. Okay, and then I have to extract this zip file. Okay, and now here I have this folder and I will rename it to frontend, that I have a clear structure here. Then I can remove the zip file and I'm clear with this here. And now I also have the And then now I also will have here our Sulu project. So therefore I go to the internet, never code alone, GitHub. And here we have this base Sulu project. And I just will clone it. To the URL Okay, now it's downloading. And I can go to this here. And now there's the first thing I have to do here to make this work. This is working now with DDEV, and DDEV is a kind of technology to handle Docker. DDEV has local Docker installation, and I will map there my projects. So it don't need every time build new containers, but for the mapping, it is super important on the DDEV folder that you will change here the project name to avoid conflicts with other projects. Okay, now I have this little change here, and I can do a DDEV start. This is very fast working. And now I will have a website here what I can look on, but this will have errors because we don't do a composer install. This is super good on DDEV that the tools you need are totally implemented in this project, so I don't need a composer install here on my local machine. And after that I also have DDEV to import my base Sulu SQL dump, what is here on my system, on my project in the root folder. And now I can open this URL here. Okay, and now I have my first page here. This is a multi-language page, and yeah, that was the first step. Okay, after that I can start to implement my new layout and have to open my stuff here on PhpStorm. So I go to PhpStorm and I open a folder, and this folder makes me here the client, and now I will open here the Sulu project. In this window, this is okay. And I also will open the front end here. And will attach this here. Now it's good for me because I can just super simple use Xdebug. But I also can check here my front end. And on my front end, you will see here there are files. Okay, now we have here this start page with a few elements, and I hope we can build all those elements today. So, just a little background information. We have here just simple HTML and CSS static layout. So let me check what is happening here. We have here some style sheets, bootstrap min, some meta information, and so on. So I will have here font awesome and images. So everything what is here that I need for my assets, I will copy and move this to my public folder. On my public folder, there's a lot of stuff for Symfony, but I also can say here hi-plan to separate the template files here for my front end, and now I can copy all the stuff here. Okay, and I also check the index file, what we have here and what we have to do. So we have a header. We have this body. In this body we have this wrapper with the head section. The head section has here the navigation and how to call me, and there is an address, and then there is the real navigation, and after this there comes a main section, and in this main section there are sections like cover, about, what they do, about the company, about the team, and so on. This is very nice. And then we have this footer selection, and yes, this looks good for me. Normally I close all the stuff that I don't need or want to copy easily. So therefore we have on our Sulu project, we have here a super normal Symfony structure, because it's a full stack Symfony Framework Content Management System. And now we have here on the templates our base template. And on this base template here there's some meta information, and there is a block about for our SEO, and a block about styles. And we will check what we need here for our projects and what we can remove. So, first of all, this meter is there. I think this is also here. We don't need any block elements for our sub pages. I hope maybe later we can add it, but I think it's every time better to use only what you need and not to make here this Swiss open feature knife on your project. This is simpler to maintain and it's simpler to read, and this is everything what is simpler makes me a bit more of fun. Okay, so the title will be also removed by me. I think it's going with the SEO extensions. We have to check what we can do here. Okay, and then we just have this hi-plan here, and this is also on the root folder, web path from the folder. Okay, here's a href here. Okay, and for the JavaScript it is also here. Let me check if I can grab it better. Okay, so maybe we have now the complete header. I don't know exactly why are the JavaScript files on the header section. So something happened here. This is okay for us because we will also remove much more from the content. But we see this is the right loading, and now we can check on console if we have errors on loading any sources. But this looks, everything looks good. Cool. And then we have this body here. And now let's see what we have here. We have here also a header. And down this we have the search. We don't need the search. We have this content sections. We need this content sections. We don't have a block on the side, and we will not have a footer here what is dynamically, and here are the JavaScripts. We will remove it now. So this looks much better for me. Okay, so now we have this header here is like this. Div wrapper is around it, and then inside is a header, div header, and under this is navigation. So let me see how far we have to copy this here. Header and navigation is what we need, and the main section is something other. So at first I will do this here. And add this here. So this is static content here. And here is the navigation. And here is a button. I think this button will have an icon or something like this. Okay, and here is the main navigation, what we have to iterate about. So there is only first level, I think. We will check if the start page, if we have a start page later maybe. But for now we will see that there is a simple structure like that here. Okay, so now we have this simple LE. We have here in class navigation item, and we need this here inside of this navigation item. We check this here, check the link. Is class navigation link, I think. Just simple here. And now it has the same structure like this here. I can remove this here. I will close the for row. Hopefully this will work now. I can remove all this header here from the old one. Okay, and here's just main section, and then every section has an ID. Okay, so we have main, just main inside. And here, this is what Sulu needs. is just a section ID content. I think it's not rendered to the front end. Okay, and now we can also put this maybe inside here, header, content and content. Okay. Every time we're clean also on the front end. That you have clear structures to avoid problems here. Okay, I think there's something going on. What looks better now? Okay, start page. I don't know where this is coming from. The logo is here. Images header logo. Okay. This is what we can copy. New directory, images, add here a logo, header logo. This is better for search engines when you give this here the right name, hi minus plan minus logo. Okay. So here I have hplan. Minus plan. What's wrong with me today? Plan logo. Okay. So now the logo would be there nearby. Images header logo, wrong name. Yes, sure. Minus plan minus logo. Images PNG. There's hope. Okay, this looks better for me. Thanks. It's okay. I don't know where the start page stuff is coming from. H1 section. Navigation. Okay. This is here my default content. Okay, but that's no problem. Everything will go away here. So we have this here now, and I also want to add the footer. The footer is already in the div ID wrapper. What is not here so far? Maybe that was a problem. It was 90. ID wrapper. So div ID wrapper. Okay. Then the footer is inside. and hoppala, my problem. Okay. Footer is here. Okay. So now there is a footer. Okay, so that's the first steps. I make the static thing of my template here working. I have make some changes on the base HTML Swig file. I just put here in the information for the CSS files, and I also have here the structure for my page, for my base template, and in this base template here will be rendered my content. So on first I will do now a start page configuration, and in this configuration I will add here the sections of the template. Okay, so we have here configurations, template, pages, and under pages there are two files what we don't need in the future, but for now we have to use them, and we can delete them later when we have assigned our new templates to the backend pages. So for now I will just do here some file what is called start page .xml, and here I have here now a plain start page. I'm using super much of PhpStorm live templates. You will see here a lot of examples to use this, and now I also have here a Sulu page configuration, and on this page configuration I will say here start page what is an individual key, and you will see that here on line 9 there is exactly the same name for the template, and here this is what the user will see on the drop down in the admin area, and we will also have here now in German language, and now so the highlight is not here because we need this maybe from another project. What is the header now? The header information. This is not the best thing I think I have here. I have to add it to our base Sulu template. Now I will check out our Never Code Alone project. We have this header section here. Okay, I think this will work. Includes this highlights. Now this is here. Okay, I hope this will work. And yes, now we have the first section what we want to add, make editable for the backend user on this admin area. So let me check what we have here. So maybe on first I only want to make this text here editable, and not the background and not the logo, because this is I don't think that they will edit this, but they want to edit this this sense here. So we will add a section, and we will call this section, I think it's something like an hero header. Hero header, and yes, we will also do this for German. Maybe it will have the same name. I have to move my microphone here because I cannot read so good. DE is the hero header. Maybe the German will write it uppercase, and it just has a property, and the property is just a text element, and this is not a text element. I think it's more an editor element, because you can say here some styling inside, and here also some properties are here. So we have our hero header text. Text also for DE, and this will work now. And we have to add a start page here now for the template pages. So as you can see, we have here an example what we can use like this. Start page, and now we are using the base Sulu, and now we have here our first element from our index file. No, I don't. It is this here, I think. The name is cover. Maybe we will rename it to cover. This is better when we use the same name as designers, then we talk about the same things. This will be avoid some communication problems in the future. I just will add it here. Where's my start page? So we will add this here now. Class, blah, blah, blah. And now we have here our output from our file. So we was the name, by the way. It's cover. We rename this to cover, and we say this is also here. Cover, and now it is renamed. So for now on our front end we have to render it here. Content dot Okay, and then we can also say if content dot is not empty, then render this section, and when there is nothing inside, don't show this section, please. This is good because we avoid problems for the editor that they don't fill some fields, and there will be some problems on the front end because something is empty. And the next thing is that the editor can just simply say, when I don't fill it, it will not be rendered. So he has not to decide with a toggle or with a button to say, hey, here I want to make this thing here active or not active. So when he is using this element will be rendered to the front end. Okay, so far so good. And now we log in here with admin. And we do here admin. Don't be afraid to push this SQL dump later to the live environment, because every user here is based on the environment. Now we are here on our develop environment, and when we will use exactly this dump on production environment, the user will not be found. Okay, and yes, now we will check here our start page. Okay, so NCA community, we also have to rename this, I think. So there's a configuration, and here is a configuration called web space with example, and here you can say now we use hi-plan.net. We will let the key example. This is okay for us, and now I think this would be work, and now we can say, okay, we have here a start page, and on this start page we want to do our new layout. And now it's not here, the layout. So we have to clear the cache. For cache, yes. We will reload it here. And now our start page is here. And then we take the start page, and now we have here start page, what is based on the just slash regulator, and we have this cover header, and now we will do here some text inside. Here, it's also rendered here. Is some text, and yeah, we will just simple check if here is something working with this editor. I'm not on this problem here that we have to add here some special span tags, but I think to avoid this for now, I don't want to do it now, but later maybe I will change this to a simple text element and will use here some just plain HTML stuff, but maybe also we can do this now. I think this problem will be there. Okay, so we just do in text. It's just text line, and this is everything what we have here. Okay, text line, text line. We remove this parameter stuff. We will remove also this here from my example. We go back to this. We will reload it. Now we will have some text here, and I can check this text here on my, where was the index file? The index file of the cover, and for this we have here some text. Okay, we will add it here. Okay, whoa, this is not the best I see here. Okay, come on, please. Span technical, zack. Okay, I hope you have some time to watch this video here, because this is work. Yes, this is how work looks like. Save and publish. Now we have this here inside, and the problem is only to render this on the, so we have this here, and we say okay, please give me a p tag around, and give it here some plain raw. So just add a pipe here. I don't know exactly if we have space here to add the filter, because normally when I see here a lot of Symfony documentation, it would be like this. I think, yeah, maybe we have to talk about these little things here. But we see this is working for us. And now we have the first content element done. Okay, next move, next element. So now we have here, this is an iteration element. I don't know, we have a drop down here with colors. And yes, we have an, this is blue, blue, red, red, gray, gray. Then we have an image. And we have a headline, and we have a description, and also on this description we can say this is now here real text editor, because we have here something like bold, or maybe it's even an, yes, it's bold or strong. And here is a list. I think this could be better a real HTML list for us. And yes, okay, so we have this here, and we will check our index file, and in this index file we have this about segment. Merchants, let me check. Okay, this is it. Okay. So we have no headline or something else directly here. Okay. Okay. So we can just shut this section here to get a better overview. And now we start with a new section. Let me check. It's running here. Okay. Let me check new section. And this section is called about, and this here is about, and on Germany it's also, it's über uns. I have to über uns to switch the language here. and it has properties, and the properties is only an block element. Block elements is iteration of element, and so we need to add here a Sulu block, and the Sulu block is about items, and the title is items in English, and I think it's maybe elements, Elemente in German. And now we have here this default type. What is super important to have the same name. This is items. This name must also be here for the default type. I think the mini-curse, you don't have to select one. Maybe you don't want to say this is working. And now we have here this this is singular here also. Okay, now we have here the item, and on Germany we have here the element, and here we have an image. What is called image, and this is here image, and on Germany it is, have to look around here because of the microphone. Maybe I will find a better solution in the future for it. For now I put the stuff a bit more to the left. I think this is now working better for me. So we have an image, and we had a headline, and this is just text for me, or it's a headline, yes. This is the item headline, and we have here some text editor. What is using the item description, and this is here a description. Also we have to add here some German stuff. DE is Beschreibung, and here on the headline it is also using on DE Schrift. Okay, so far we have now this item. Okay, let us check if it's working for us. About, we have this add block, and we have here now image, headline, and description, what we can add. And for now I just want to add something. Yeah, maybe we can also make a save and publish, and now we can just check out one time what we see on our real frontend here. because we can also have some debugging, start some debugging on the front end. So we have our start page trick, and now we have here this block content, and now we can here debug, dump some internal, so we get this content here. And I also saved it, and now we have here on our Symfony debug toolbar, we will see all of our debug wars here. We can also open this in a new window, so this is a bit clearer for us now. And we have here an array with one type, what is totally empty. Yes. So maybe we can say when we add here something, we need to do this mandatory, and we will say when you add one item, don't let it empty. Okay, so for now, let me check our start page XML, and now we will see that we have an true here for the image, and also we will do this for, and we will also do it here, that we say, okay, everybody has to do this stuff here. And now we will have here some methodology. Yes, and when we say we have saved it now, yes. So we have to remove this this item here, publish it now, and now I think it's better to see that the about items are empty. And this is what I want to say here on the front end part. I want to say, okay, when there is no content about item inside, then don't render the section about for the about block. So we will do here some if content dot about items. I think it was this, yes. Is not empty. Is it like this? I wonder, because I don't have an autocompletion here. Is empty if content empty. I hope this is working. I don't know exactly the language now. But we can make a test, just simple here, testify. So I hope this will not be rendered now in the front end, because it's empty. And when we have an element, the full section and the element will be rendered. Okay, this would be good. So let me check about this section. We get the section here. Okay, and here is now our start page trick with our new section. I close this here. And I have this section now here. This is a about section. Okay. Shots. This is the image here. This is the headline. Class icon tree. Building. And map. Okay. This is okay for me. We will do this later. So we have now our items here. I think this is every time this div is rendered. For in, okay, down here, go to here, and for, okay, this is very good. So we have this image here. Now we have to check our dump when we add here some real data. So first we have here this docs. It's PNG. This is not the best what we can have, but for now it's maybe working. We will see. And we have here this tree and building, and I think this was something other. And okay, we have here now our text. Cool. So we select an image, and here on Sulu there is a very good media library, and editors cannot just put here stuff inside. They need to add folders, and maybe we do a folder like start page. We don't need a further description here. And now we also need our, where it is. We have this duck here. We can drag and drop the duck here. So we have this duck. And we also need a headline. And we also need some text here. We have some text here. Hope this is working plain, not just gray. Okay, so, and we can save and publish it, and we need to reload it here to see it when it's working. We can also see it on the preview. Okay, unexpected token, operator, start page. Okay. This is an error. On start page line 33, content about. Okay. Okay, so this is working for us now, and now we need to add this image here. We will see where we have it here. We have this about items, and for each about items, we also have this image here, and there's some media, and there are very much default media formats by Sulu. We have to check if we can use this here. What we need here. Okay, it's 4 to 428 with 300, then we need a new format. So we have here on our configuration, we have here some image formats. And yeah, as you can see, you can add here some really cool image stuff. And 4 to 8, 300, and this is a start page teaser. And now we have added this format here. When we add a format, we have to clear the cache hard. And now we have this format here, and now we can add this format to our front end. So we have here some image, and now we want to give here some image. And I also think I have sometimes here an image. I had something like this. Sulu image. Okay, so we have here now the about item dot image. Zero, and can say, okay, I think this is new here, a new structure. Okay, autosave function is hover. Okay, so on the profiler we will have now, I hope, image format, and now here is our format. So formats and our format. Okay. So now we have the image here, and here it is the headline. About high item. Image, item headline. And here I don't know exactly how to add a class now here on the ptag, but maybe we can do this like that. Because I think it was just description here. Description. Okay, now we will check. Okay, the image format makes problem because of what? Syntax error. About item Image 0. Okay, there's a dot too much. Okay, now we have this ducks here, we have this headline here, we have a p tag what would be rendered with raw. Okay, I think this looks good for me. It's gray and working. We don't need this here so far. And now we have to check out how is working the blue and the tree here. Okay, so back to the index. So we have this about section, and now there's something. So we have tree, building, and map. So we will add a drop down here, a select box, drop down select box. Maybe where we have to add this, it's maybe on top, I think. So the editor maybe can simple check this. So we have here select and single select field with two options. I think this is okay for me because yeah, this is a good example for me. So now we have this. We always it's the icon, I think. Default option was tree. Was it tree? I don't know. And here's tree. Okay, and we have the second option, what is called, what was it? Wrong project. Wrong shortcut, no problem. So we have first, it was tree. Second was building. Building, and the third is, it's the same as this here. Map. Map. And now we go to German. This is Baum. And this is here. To change my language, and here it is, I just closed here. Okay, so this is the icon. I think on DDE it can be the same, and the other thing was the color. I don't know really where the color is coming from. Div class color bar. Center me about, ID about. Where is the color? Class segment image, color bar. What's a color bar? Need some information about the color. Tricky. Where is the blue? Cover background. This is. What is cover background? We will check later what is cover background, but for now I want to see where is the blue, or especially where's the red, because it's fallback and we have blue here. About segment. Ah, this is working dynamically. This is nice. So I don't have to check the colors. I just have to check this item. Icon please chose, and we add tree here. So we have this information now here when I reload it. I will also have this information here on my item. Icon is tree. So when I get this here, I can say icon is tree, something like this. Let me see, where is my start page? I can say here set icon. Icon is every time. Well, it has a default fallback. We don't have to set it. We can just render it here. Where is the icon tree? Here. About item.icon, and now this is rendered here. Okay, so I will also add here now the other two elements. Okay, this is now building, and yeah, we need here some more building and planning. Start page, so let me check here. Building and planning, I just uploaded. So now I take the building. Okay. Then I have here some headline, and I have here some description. Okay, there I have some list. Okay, I just do it here now like this. Here is some thing, and this is bold, and now I will add here some list, and this is item 1, item 2, item 3, something, and I will check here. That is okay. So this is my second, and my third has this map Karte. Okay, and it's working here now. Here starting our planning, and now this is super good here, because in the last items I add, I don't have to decide the folder here. Everything is here on the on a full overview, especially the last items I add to the media library, but I have to structure it before. So now we have here this people working. Here's our planning, and I think here's also some kind of text. And maybe is this a map? I don't think so, but this is not my problem here. So far, so good. And now I have these 3 dots, and hopefully, okay, there is some problem with the iteration. Tree building and map are working, and there's some magic here inside class. Maybe there's an element more outside. I have to check here. Div class about segment image section. I think I lost this. Div class about segment has a center me. Ooh, is the center me outside of this? Center me is outside. Okay. I think this is not the hardest. Whopper. Okay, then maybe when this is the only problem, this would be great. Sure. So looks good for me, and maybe it will work. Perfect. Okay, now let's make something for our SEO here. This is not the nicest thing. I have to fix here something on the CSS file, but maybe not now. But I have to say, this headline will be our alt, and that I don't know exactly if we need it every time, but I will add it here also as title. So for now, we have now also something done for SEO. And yeah, this is working nice. And okay, let me see if we will avoid some more content elements here. I think the principle how we work with Sulu is clear now. We will have here a headline, a subline, an item, and here it's maybe a list or something else. Okay, so I will just add this item here, and then we will be finished. Okay, so let's do the next content element here. I have to check on PhpStorm. So we have here headline, subline, a button, and a target, and a list. Okay, so we will start here and close the section about. Start a new section. This section is called Leistungen, okay. So, section called Leistungen. Leistungen, what is Leistungen on English? Maybe services. We have here services as title, and then we will add some properties. But for now, we will also do here German Leistungen. Okay, and now we will add some properties. So we have a headline. Services dot headline. This was text line, huh? Not a headline. So services. I have to prefix this here because this property name is the key on trick, and when I have more than one headline, I have to prefix it, because otherwise this will not work for me. And now we also have here some subline. Services. Services subline, okay. And then we have here some button, and the button has a target and a text. So services button text, button text, and we have here some target. I think it's page selection. Services page selection. This is internal URL, okay. The title is okay for me. We have now to add here some German stuff. Okay, maybe when I have no language here, maybe it's working for both. This would be cool. But I also think when we see this here now on the backend, we have here a lot of space. So maybe it's easier for us when we say headline and subline is here in one line, and button text and internal URL are on another line. So I can add here call spans, and I wanted 50%. And here also I want to do this call span 50%. And on a new row, I want to do this call span also 50%. And now I have here some like this. Nearby, it's not working like I want. Let me think about it. Something needs like a new row here. For now, I think I will use it on one line. Maybe I check how this works. Okay, headline, subline, button, button, text, okay. For me this will work for now. Let me check it's this capital letter, okay, this comes from CSS. Here is this. We have here button text. Info, and we will select the page. We have here no page to check. Don't know why this is. I have to check what I can do here later. Workspace. I think this is a normal page here. Maybe I can check. Have to try what is doing here. Don't know exactly why this is not working. Maybe it cannot check itself, but maybe we have to add just simple subpage. Okay, maybe it needs some subpage here. What makes a bit of sense? Why not? Subpage. Hope this is working now. Okay, now I can select the subpage. Okay, so this is working for us. And now I need this list element. This is services items. Items. Item. Item, and the item just has a text line. Okay, so let me add some German stuff. Okay, I think this will work. Yeah, it's just a text element. And now I have to check that the content element will not be shown if there are no items inside, because this will not work. So for me it's important, I think, that there are items, and we will also handle this like we done before on our start page trick template. So we have here something like this, and can close it and start our new services. There's no, okay, there's no line between. Can add here some services, and so the services item. I hope I use all this kind of things like this. Of naming here, so when it's not empty, then we have this section, and we have here our headline. Content dot services headline. This is here services. So I can copy this maybe. Subline. Then we have here the button text and the button URL. Okay, I have to check how the button URL is working, but this was button text, I think. Button text looks good for me. Dot button text, and there is, and here are our services items. Item in services items, and for then there is simple and LE elements, and in this LE element there is services services item. Why? What is going on? Item dot just text. Okay. Okay. Then we check if this don't make any problem here so far, and if they are here, the services items are already here, and now there's, I see this will not go to the front end if I have here nothing. And yes, I can say okay, save this stuff, and now I hope there will be Leistungen and nothing. It's here. Okay, this looks good for me. So far there are two images that are not loaded. This is a cover background, plan images cover background. Okay, and I have here images cover background. Okay, this is now here. So for me it's important that I don't get the full asset folder from any templates to my project. I only want the images that I only need for my templating, and all this example stuff I don't want, because here this is definitely on the public frontend, and maybe Google will find it and there will be, the images would be found, and it also makes a lot of problems, because later all these images will go to Git, and unnecessary files in Git. This is not the cleanest way to do coding. So reload. HI plan images Leistungen not found. Why? Leistung background. Sorry. This is okay. Cover background, Leistung background. .png file. Okay, then now there are background images. Okay, and now what I also have to do is to set this link here, because this link is not working so far. I will check here the service item array, and where is the link? Service item section here. Let me check the Symfony profiler, if I can open it. Services page section, I think. I need some more information here. Internal URL, I have to think about on other projects where I have this internal URL also using, why it's not coming so good to my frontend here. This is the problem. It's like it's not saved so far. So maybe when I remove it, the problem is that I cannot reload this here so easy, because I have to do it every time a session, debug session. So now it's empty. I hope that this will work, that there will be more than an ID inside. This is a problem for me here. Okay, I don't know how to fix this right now. I have now here some problem. But for this evening, I think I work enough. Yes, I don't have to solve this problem maybe now. I have to solve a really other problem, because I just work here on master. This is okay, because this is the first thing I do here to work on it. I can say here, okay, clear, and I have to add here some new project, some new stuff here like this. I have here our GitLab project, and I also have here projects, and just make this something bigger. Go to the start page, and I say here is clients. And so now I can add here a new client, hi minus plan. This is an internal project. Other people can look on it here on my GitLab repository, sure. And I have here now this repository. So let me check. git/config, and yes, I can now add this here as origin. Hopefully this will work. Okay, then there are then I will see here what happens. I have to change on my config file. I have make something on the base template. I add an homepage twig file, and I also add a few more files. This looks good for me. Start page. Okay. Then I can push it. It's a lot of stuff here. Don't know exactly what is the thing here. What is, why it is so much. So, but it's added now here. Okay. Yeah, maybe it's like that because, yeah, there are all the base Sulu commits here in the delta. This was maybe not the best I can do, but for now it's working for me. So what can I say? What I've done here so far? I checked out my I checked out my it must be minus Fuki. No, this is okay. Okay. Yes, I run my DDEV setup. I check out DDEV, make DDEV start, and Composer install and import the initial database, and I make a configuration for my templates pages. Here's start page. I have a lot of shortcuts, but mainly you have simple sections. The sections are the headline points here on the backend. What is like cover header, about. This is a section what gives you the editor a better overview to do it here. And as we see here on services, we just have this headline for the section. Then we have content elements, simple text elements, or maybe we have also images or internal URLs, what is not working so far. And we can also super simple add block elements. A block element is a content element what you want to iterate about, and you can define it like a section. It has its own properties, and in these properties you can do these properties, and you have a little styling that you can check out what content elements come together, like button text and button URL, like yeah, maybe headline and subline is not the best example, but maybe when you have a name and a family name, you would do this on contacts, but maybe you have something where you need a little list here. Okay, that's it. So thank you for listening, my little live coding with the Sulu Content Management Framework here, and I have show you how to start a project from scratch with DDEV, how simple I can do this here for all my projects. And then I go back a bit, and I also can say how fast I can add new themes or page layouts and make some pages editable. And also with the power of PhpStorm live templating, I have very much speed to develop things, and it's really simple to do it. And yes, now we have here more than 1 hour coded for a start page of a new project, but you see how this work is going to be easy, and how I can do anything much easier for me. And yes, when you have any questions about the tools I use, about any shortcuts or anything, just write it down here on the comments. I will answer all the questions. Please follow, I think it's the other side, wait, on YouTube, it's here. Please follow this channel and give me a like and give me any feedback of this new setup here. I'm using a new microphone here, and I am using a new camera, and hopefully this solution problem with the display is now also working for everybody of you. And see you, bye!